Hey guys, so I just wanted to share something I've been learning reading the Bible. I think a scripture that I've been kind of stuck for the past maybe week, 2 weeks. It's in Acts chapter 4, verse 20. It says, "As for us, we cannot help speaking about what we have seen and heard." I think the scripture is so profound, right? The apostles, when they were asked to be quiet, for them, they couldn't help it. It says, "We cannot help but to speak about what we've seen and heard." This scripture, I've pondered on it, I've thought about it. I'm like, man, like, why is it that sometimes I'm not like this? A lot of times, actually, I'm not like this, right? For them, they couldn't help it. It was just an overflow of what they were filled of. It just came out because they were so captivated by what they saw and what they heard. So I was just pondering. I was like, man, what stops me from being like this? How come I'm not like this all the time? Where like um, I'm just so full of what I've seen and what I've heard that it just naturally comes out. Sometimes I gotta kind of force myself to like speak or say something, but for them, they just couldn't help it. They were just so filled. That's why they had so much boldness, right? And today, actually, this morning, I was reading Amos, Amos chapter 3, great book, and verse 8 says, verse 7. "Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servant the prophets. The lion has roared, who will not fear? The sovereign Lord has spoken, who can but prophesy?" Right here, God was talking through Amos, right, against the Israelites, against what they were doing, right? And for Amos, it says, who can but prophesy? When God speaks, right, when God says something, right, he has all the authority. And I was thinking about Acts 4. I was like, man, I think one of the reasons why they were so bold, they just couldn't help it, is because they really understood that Jesus or God, right, has all the authority. So whatever he says, it carries weight, right? For example, when someone tells you, like a boss or something at your job, hey, do something, right? You have a little bit more confidence to do it because your boss told you to do it, right? Doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter if people try to tell you otherwise. You have confidence because your boss told you to do it, right? And he has the final saying, right? So I was just pondering and thinking and trying to connect those two scripture, right? And obviously, the Great Commission in Matthew 28, right, says, "Then Jesus came to them and said, 'All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me.'" So I was just thinking about this passage. I was like, man, like Jesus says here, he says that all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. So he has all authority, right? So whatever he says, right, I should have the same confidence. I should have the confidence because he said it and he has the final authority, right? I should be as bold as the apostles, right? To the degree I truly understand that Jesus has all authority, is the same degree of boldness I'm going to have. So my perspective of Jesus and how he has all authority will determine my boldness because I truly believe that he has all authority. And I was just trying to think and ponder on that, and really meditate and examine myself. It's like, man, how truly do I view Jesus? Do I truly view him with all authority? Because if I do, I should have that boldness all the time to share and just speak, right? I just can't help but to speak what I've seen and what I've heard, and that's just something I've been learning for the past week, 2 weeks, I believe. And I just wanted to share, right? Anyone out there who's struggling to be bold, right? And when it comes to just sharing your faith and talking about God, you gotta ask yourself, man, when it comes to Jesus, like how much do you see his authority? Is your authority, is his authority really guiding your life, right? He has all the authority. It says here, he has all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. So whatever he says, right, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, it would not supersede what Jesus said in Scripture. So Jesus has the final authority, and whatever he says, you could count on it. You could take it to the bank. If he said something, I'm going to hold on to it. I know it's true, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says. That will be true no matter what, no matter if people have different opinions or whatnot. Thank you guys for listening.